What's do, guys? Welcome to the garage. We're going to be working on the Turbo R1 for a short hot minute. Let's get at that.
Perfect.
Hands down, the most common thing I am being asked is what's happening with the R1? When is it going to be on the street doing dyno pulls and all of that? And well, soon, I guess, when I find time. I mean, it took me 2 years to build it, and I could have done this a lot sooner, but I didn't because I take my good sweet time. So here is where we're at. And basically, she starts, it idles, there's a little bit of a miss, maybe dirty plugs. I just put fresh fuel in it, some M2, battery is on charge. It is hard starting, even though it's E85, it should not be this hard starting. It runs really rich too, even pulling so much fuel out of these maps, it is still running quite rich, which not ideal. So I'm going to play around with the map and see what the dead times are, just double check everything, make sure all my things are in order, and hopefully we can get her to start a little bit easier than this. So if we go, she's getting there. Sounds like a miss, right? Doesn't like a little bit of throttle, just doesn't sound quite right. The main thing for me is just a quick, easy start. You need it to start and idle nicely so you can do your base timing to check for leaks and all of that kind of small bits and pieces. So this is pretty essential, and it's also essential for when you throttle off on D-cell that your idle and everything is correct, or else she's going to stutter, potentially stall out, which this done because it ran dog rich and like the 0.7s. Yeah, you just want all of the easy basic stuff first, so that's what we're going to try and do here. So like I said, fresh fuel. I have gone over an entire map, but we're actually just going to take this map off here that is currently running the bike, and we're going to save it, because if this one is completely different, you know, get where I'm going? It should connect with this guy if I have them plugged in. Womp womp. I don't think I have it plugged in. So it's either you. Oh, it's this. There we go. Helps if we plug it in properly, huh? Stay. So. Oh, new device detected. What the heck are you? Just see if we can catch that throttle on the way down. Like when you blip it, it dies, but that is probably something to do with these dead times. So let's just go right ahead and open this map. That should be good. So if we just watch this map, boom. You see the big change in there, the big dip in injector dead times? That is correct based on the Bosch website. So if we go and flash this guy, now, let me go. Off. On. See, that sounds like, ow. Maybe our target idle and stuff's a bit low. Or she is just way too rich by the looks of it. And we'll stop this log. And if we come through for that small period of time she's running. Let's change this can switch to my bad. Yeah. So our AFRs are up. Not running. Boom. 9.1. I think that's while it's running. AFR and then goes to 14. So what do we have here? Okay, so SD card got full, so we just swapped her over. Started the bike already. We're going to turn off clam drive by wire on throttle off, so we won't do that, but we will go and connect the bike again. Ta-da! We should get it connected on here, which it is not doing. It's not liking it. It doesn't like the cable. Yeah, we're going to use client data from this particular map. If we go to our fuel table here again, I'll show you not a hell of a lot because Windows closed, but let's go over here. We can bring it up again. I turned the O2 onto on all the time while we're doing this stuff. Fueling, injectors calibration, and if we have a look here, we've completely changed the cal. It's not exactly by the let's go here, but it is as close as I can get without playing too much in this. But these two spots here are pretty close, but that's also because they're identical, 9.95 and 10, pretty much the same spot in this little area, and everything else is fairly well spaced. But the thing is, now we get this going on. let's go and have a look at the old log graph, which we're going to stop. Open that up, and that to me is actually a good success there. Move your dog. I think it's time for a new laptop, given that this one keeps freezing, and I think it's actually because right now I'm using a 60 watt adapter as opposed to the 130 that it likes. And I think the performance of this laptop is based off the fact that it is using a lot of power. So AFRs in our purple here, can you guys see that? I hope so. Purple here showing about 10.8 across the board, which, yeah, it's not actually too bad. It's not too bad. I think this is still meant to be Stoich, as in 13.5 area, 14. That's usually about where you'd want to idle. This is still quite rich for an idle. Not bad, a lot better. It is actually better than what it was because I couldn't really get it to change either. So I tried playing around with the, ooh, my hair is a mess. Playing around with the injectors and stuff like that, trying to pull timing and everything because I couldn't get it to idle nice and low like it is now. There's a very low idle, it's like 1400, which is, you know, it's good. So actually idle is 1500. Pretty smooth too, actually. If you look at that, it's pretty good, pretty good. I can live with that. That's actually really good. Our maps, it's pretty low, but it's a 1000cc bike, so the cams are quite large for a naturally aspirated, and that's kind of to be expected. Low vacuum. And what else have we got in here? Let's have a gander. Ignition. It's about the 9.5-10 mark, which is about what we want. I think that might even be locked at that at the moment, as I was going through and diagnosing stuff. I haven't really got these set up too much. Enrichment, nothing there for Excel enrichment, even though we had a little bit of throttle near the end of that. Idle control is doing its thing there. You can see the PID idle control still at 0 actually, -5 even. So that must be pulling timing maybe. 5. Everything looks above board. Oil pressure. It's about a bar. Which you give it a little bit of revs and she skyrockets pretty quick. And then around here we got IAT stands around the same until we gave her a little bit of snot. Actually no, that was turning the bike off that does that. Our rev sections there, you can see our oil pressure jumps significantly when we give it some juice. And we have ignition going up to 30 degrees. Wowzers, where is that peaking? That's crazy. That's a bit high, I think. Might have to look at that. Pull the whole table back actually. And what else we got? That's idle correction. This is probably a bit spicy for this small amount of throttle I was using. This is Excel enrichment. We might dull that down a bit. And yeah, IATs actually went down 26. Not bad, not bad. And so that's about 2.5 hours worth of time, I think. Maybe not, maybe like an hour and a half, I don't know. It feels like forever, but that's why it's not on the road and running and not riding it all the time, because I'm still sorting out all these tiny little bits and pieces to just get it perfect, really. No, maybe not even perfect, just a lot smoother. Like, I have ridden it, but we want to clean up all this stuff down the bottom, hence pulled that map, got some bits and pieces that did work, some that didn't work, and now we're just working through all of these little things. But this part, huge success. It's actually responding well to our changes in the fuel maps now, the VE table, given that the injectors are now set, the dead times are actually now correct. And yeah, we need to pull some of that fuel out because you can really smell it now. And from this point on, it's just step by step. The next thing for me, I think the next thing will be get it up and idling during the day. It's now, yeah, it's dark. It's like 7-something o'clock, so nearly 7 o'clock. Bit late to be running this girl. She's pretty very loud. But get her up and running. Dial in the AFR at temp. We can move that through the map a little bit. We can work on the Excel enrichment because that's coming in a little bit too strong. We're adding a bit too much fuel. So we rev it, and as you saw, I revved it and it really bogged down. That's just fueling and fueling and fueling, and then it just, you let off the throttle, there's all that fuel still in there, not enough air, boom, she's out. I need to check our dead times, no, not the dead times, the dwell settings as well. I think I need to pull a whole lot of dwell out, get it back down to the 3s, because I think at some point I really ramped it up just to you know, fuck around and find out, see if that was the issue with the breakup, but definitely fueling for the breakup. So yeah. we are onto a winner. We are making progress bit by bit. So I'm going to make a lot more videos like this so you can see exactly where we're at and the trials and tribulations of trying to get something like this started, because we don't have any base maps. We don't know the coil dwell time for an R1. You just kind of ballpark it, feel the coil after a ride and see if it's really hot or not really hot at all. Spluttering, high RPM, just play with the dwells there, work it out yourself. I need to put new plugs in it, go from the iridiums just to copper tip, and the reason I run those is because I replace them often. Iridiums are a longevity thing. They do last a lot longer, but I don't give a flying frick about longevity, because every oil change I will change the plugs. Cheaper to get just the OEM off the shelf jobbies, gap them down, still one step colder, and go with that. Forgot what I was talking about because I'm a little ADHD kid. Yeah, so we're onto a winner. Gonna work with that, gonna make a lot more videos and get to you guys a lot sooner. Oh yeah. Alright, so good result is good. I'll get back to you guys later. Next up, we're probably going to be doing this little check valve in the oil system, because we're getting some feedback into the sump, and over time, a couple of days, it's actually filling up and getting past the turbo seals, back and front. Turbo seals aren't really for sealing oil like that, and not in a submerged situation. So we're going to put this one-way check valve in there. I'll pull all the fairings off, show you guys the oiling system for a motorbike. Essentially, they're all going to be the same. You need to find the same ports, same locations, use the same kind of fittings. Yeah, same pump setup. I'll get to that. The particular pump I use, this guy's brilliant. It's very compact, very small. Yeah, just show you guys all of this jazz. So yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. So I'll do one little cheeky start up, see if she just fires up straight away. Come on, girl.